Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another tiny session of the Age of Adventure RPG. My name is GM Age, and I'm here tonight, as usual, with my mate TAZZ, the Roy O'Bannon to my Chong Wang.
Fair enough.
How are you,
Take
TAZZ?
it, actually. Yeah.
How you going?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. There's magpies are conquering all, so only seems fitting that I will be conquering the goblins of Darkwood tonight. Is the plan. So
Okay, well, hopefully our international
treat them
fans
like the Melbourne backline.
know what you're talking about. They probably know Melbourne, maybe not magpies.
Look it up.
Okay, yeah, look it up.
Wonderful thing called the internet where you can find all this information.
Two things I've done other than like with the channels, which obviously you got the character channels. I've also in our 2 die 6 channel. I don't know if you can see that just above voice and dice rolls, maybe see the 2 die 6 channel.
Okay, yeah.
I've started doing a map.
Oh, steady on. Okay.
I'll tag you in it if you can't find it. It's basically a thread
in the. Me.
It's a thread in that 2 die 6 channel.
Right.
I'll tag you now. Bang.
Someone's beeped at me. Okay.
So I've got like Ironspire, and then you went north out of Ironspire for 4 days to the Darkwood. Can you see that picture?
Where is it again? Oh, here we go. One you mentioned. Let's have a look at that. Map. Rightio. I see it. That's a map. Yep, that definitely is a map. Yeah. You've spent heaps of time on that.
Took me hours to do that.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure
and the other thread I've got, which is underneath that, is just the current situation thread. So every session I'll update the map if it changes, and then the current situation where we left the party traveling into the dark wood towards the intersection where the bandits apparently are doing their dastardly deed. And this takes us to the adventure that we are session 2, part 2, I think it is part 2,
yep.
Of the Doom in Darkwood. And I've got a picture there of some adventurers traveling into Darkwood. The heroes have been called to deal with some bandits who are terrorizing travelers passing through the peaceful Darkwood. The usually peaceful Darkwood. Although it has
According to the tourist board of Darkwood, yes, very peaceful.
Very safe. And before you introduce the characters, I will just paste a picture for the viewers of some reimagined images I did, TAZZ. I've been busy.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, to make it all sort of a similar theme.
I had to see all the profits from the YouTube videos are going.
That's it. They're being invested in
back into the company.
The company. So there is Omor's.
Is that the tower?
That's Omor's tower, reimagined in Darkwood fashion. And
he's obviously he gets well paid to obviously stay there. My goodness.
There you go, Omor Telltale. What I can't remember his name. Is it Telltale? No,
Omor Talltray.
Talltray. Well, geez, if I was giving experience out, you'd bag something for that. That's well done, Omor Talltray. And speaking of the young elf Warden of the Forest, here he is, reimagined for Doom in Darkwood. Coming.
Have a look.
There he is.
Oh, look at that jawline.
The dashing, young man who's a descendant of many wardens, family tradition that he carries on. And he indeed is your patron hiring you for this task. And with that introduction, let us get a brief summation of who our heroes are.
We have our 2 regular characters, Jirak the Orcish Warrior, also known as Jimmy the Mace, to his compatriots in Ironspire. His goal in life is to defeat the Merchants Guild, as they are not very nice people. And his colleague is the young, or at least in his eyes, young, Arabella Brockwart, also known as Ari, a young halfling rogue from memory.
That is correct.
And
who appeared in another stream. I was watching it. Yep. So we're gonna have to check her contract. See if she's allowed to partake in other streams.
Right. We got a small commission. Her goal in life is to find her missing brother Dudo, who was taken by the Merchants Guild, which is how the two met, Jirak and Arabella.
Whispers that he might have head north from Ironspire.
There was north from that. Okay.
Whispers.
Nudge,
so
wink, say no more.
On the path.
They also have another companion with them, a hireling by the name of Jimmy Bricks, a goblin barbarian. He's very good at making tea, it seems.
Ah, yes, I saw that. I should have done a. Did you get that picture, or I got that picture?
Oh, I got that picture.
Ah, okay. Yeah. For some reason, it's really small.
So him carrying the chest.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it small when you?
It was smallish, yeah.
Oh, smallish. Okay, that's all right. Thought I'd done something. Yes, Johnny Bricks, Goblin. Is he
Jimmy
Goblin?
Bricks? Sorry, Johnny Bricks. Sorry,
Johnny. Yeah, he was Jimmy. He got renamed early on.
Johnny Bricks.
Yeah. Yeah, although he had Jimmy on his badge, but because he couldn't spell, it was actually Johnny.
That's true.
He said his name was Johnny.
All looks the same to the goblins. So that's racist in someone's mind, but anyway,
let that go to the keeper. It is a fine, mild day. You took off at first light, only spent an hour or so at the tower before you struck north into the dark wood. And so I've got a picture here of the dark wood. As you're traveling along, the sounds of the forest are alive with animals and insects. So it's definitely not a dead forest. The wind's rustling quietly. I think we might have done this
last session, but is there any roles for us to know like what to expect in Darkwood apart from what we've been told last session?
You have no knowledge of it. Other than if you want to use a hero point to ask a question of knowledge. Speaking of hero points, let's do a quick check-in. Jirak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jirak only has 2 at the moment.
Ooh.
Rolled pretty poorly.
Right, and full stamina. Ari?
Young Ari has 5.
5 hero points. Beautiful. Okay, good check-in there. So what are you doing? What are you focusing on as you're traveling north towards this intersection? And what is the order of march? They're the 2 questions right there.
So Ari will be in the front, Johnny in the middle, and myself at the back. At last session, we met with the Warden of the Forest, a Omor Toltray, as we have seen his photo, who has received reports of goblins appearing at the crossroads within the forest of Darkwood. There have been robberies, there have been ambushes. There was a question of whether there'd been some sort of magic being used, which is unlike what normal goblins do, but we expect to find more.
You asked that question, or did
no, it wasn't that I asked the question. The question was not made clear. The answer was not made clear to us as to whether there was some magic being used there.
What did Omor say when you asked about that? Do you remember?
That I don't remember. Well, I just had question mark. So there may be magic involved here in this, which is not like what normal goblins do.
Well, Ari points out to you, Jimmy. She says, "Well, to be fair, Jimmy, he did say they were goblinoid green-skinned creatures." So not necessarily goblins. Not all goblins.
Potato, Ari. Potato.
And you see, Johnny Bricks is quite apt with that. Yes, not all us goblins do nefarious things, nefarious schemes, but I do know many that do. So we need to be aware.
Are you a tribe, Johnny, from this area? That's a good question.
I was raised in the city of Ironspire. This is my first time out. My family gave me away in return for a dinner for a night, a hot meal.
Okay.
Yes, there were many of us.
You showed them, didn't you, Johnny?
That is why I've decided to become a hireling. Perhaps one day graduate to the guild by getting some stripes. I think that's what you orcs call it.
Do we? Okay, that we
do. And the other thing, Ari mentions that, yes, when you say magic, I do believe Talltail, whatever his name was, Omor, Yeah, him.
It's the elf.
He
Calling the
said
elf.
that some of the travelers were saying they were overcome with sleepiness or dizziness.
Yes, that's right.
Which could be magical that we need to be aware of. So yeah, she basically, tag teams with your notes to sort of complete sort of a picture there. So she's traveling ahead. No light sources needed. What are your directions for what you want them to focus on and for yourself? And are they carrying anything?
Ari would be wearing her light shield, but everything else would be upon her person. Anything that she'd be carrying in her hand is her light shield. Let's have a look. Jimmy would also just be he'd be unarmed. He's wearing his bow on his back, and as well as the stone hammer that he found.
Okay, but unarmed. Yep.
Yeah, unarmed essentially. And Johnny Bricks is carrying basically all the basic equipment, which I've got his information here. At least I thought I did.
He wants to hold his spear.
Yes. Where is that information? Oh, there it is down there. Yep. So yeah, he's carrying his two-handed spear, but he's got rope, grappling hook, tinderbox torches, provisions.
He's the load bearer.
That's it. Well and truly.
Job. So he's in the middle. So we'll just say you're happy to have like a near distance gap between you, or do you want to be melee distance where you can tap on the shoulder? So there's no need.
No. Near distance from each other.
Near distance. Alrighty. After a couple of hours. So what do you want to focus on as you're traveling through with the sounds of bird life and animals?
Keep an eye. So Ari can look to the left forest side, and Johnny just straight down the middle. Watch the road and
the old mobile Overwatch, as they say.
That's it. Yeah, that's the official term used by the by the Orcish tribes.
Stripes and mobile Overwatch. They're the terms they use a lot.
They do. And then Jirak will look down the right-hand side.
No problem. As you are traveling, after an hour or so passes uneventfully, other than you notice the wood itself is very thick off the path. So the path is, it's knotted and mainly dirt, but as soon as you get off to the shrubs, it seems very thick, very hard to see. Even though it's daylight, the shadows caused by the canopy make it quite dark, and you can't really see the ground underfoot. So, you realize that cutting inland or across land could be very difficult. But aside from that, as you're moving forward, Ari can make a detect roll, and she gets a bonus because she is focusing on being alert. The first roll of the night. She's skilled in. She's skilled in detect. What is she?
Having a look just to be
sneak, hide,
skill and detect.
2 dice. Here we go.
All right, so we'll make this roll, then I'll ask my question afterwards.
That's 2 successes. That's a good start. She gets a hero point. Slam a hero point in.
6, beautiful.
And what's your question before I relay what she has said?
The Tinker skill. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you can do with that?
Well, Ari did tell you in Ironspire before you left, at the tavern. Oh, no, you had a meal before you left. You had the tavern. When you met, you had like a big breakfast with Johnny Bricks. Sure. And she said, I have to remind you, Jimmy, that I am skilled in tinkering, which means I can, I'm good at repairing items, rigging up things like jerry rigging. I can build traps. So basically anything to do with creating or dismantling, building.
Would that help if she was looking for traps?
No, it doesn't help detecting, but if she found one, she could,
Disarming?
Could she disarm it?
Come back to me on that one.
I think, hang on. Let me have a quick look at that. Oh, it is. Tinker also includes disabling and setting traps as well as picking locks. There you go. I left out some critical ones.
Oh, really?
There. Yeah.
Oh, picking locks. Okay,
there you go. Is she a rogue? Oh, she is.
She is a rogue.
We've only played like 10 sessions with her. But yeah, so basically not only in terms of repairing, rigging, but thieving skills. Yeah,
Right,
but not
thievery.
detecting traps, not detecting, but
Yep,
could
sure.
disable.
Okay.
Having said that,
Right, cool.
she
Thank
puts
you.
her hand up to, not that you're making any sound, but like to stop you, and then she points. She's at the corner. You know, the terrain has been sort of a winding path. She's at the corner of a bend, but she pulls to the side, and then she calls you over as Johnny Bricks sort of just goes into the shrub with his spear and looks backwards towards you at the rear.
I also go in there. I'll take off my hammer.
Was that the stone hammer? That's the stone hammer.
Stone hammer from the Bone Devil.
That's
correct.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So you arm yourself with the stone hammer, and do you want to move forward to Ari or just remain in your third position?
Yeah, no, move up to Ari. We all get together.
She calls you over. All right. So you go past Johnny. You tell him to move forward as well. So the three of you at the edge. Okay. He does. He follows you as well, gripping his spear tight. You see his knuckles are white. Yeah, he's probably a little bit, scared that this could be something. Sort of a bit of a sweat bead comes down, maybe from the travel, but perhaps not.
Have you had to fight for your life before, Johnny?
Even though I am of the barbarian breed, I have not yet encountered any outdoor encounters apart from the typical scuffles of being a resident of Ironspire, the daily struggles. But
today will be a great day. You'll see your first real battle.
Okay, he's excited as well as fearful. As you look around the corner, because Ari noticed this before anyone else, with 2 successes, you see this site. It is indeed a crossroads. So we'll start with that. You've made it to the crossroads, and put a picture in there for you. You see a sign in the middle of a crossroads. Let's have a look here. So, a 4-way junction looms in the middle of the intersection, an old moss-covered signpost, and perched at the top is a rather large black bird. It seems unaware of your presence, and you are a far distance away. So you've caught it quite early, this intersection.
Well, I'm resisting all the attempts to draw my bow and shoot the bloody thing. But we will come out.
We as in
I'll step out onto the path.
Okay.
Towards the crossroads.
Johnny and Ari stay hidden around the corner, just peeking out around
for the moment until I call you out.
Okay. As you reveal yourself, because of the open path and the fact that it's quite bright in the daylight, you notice the bird sort of turn, an eye sort of opens and squawks. Sort of.
What do the signposts say?
You go to the signposts and you're at a near distance now, and each of the paths look identical. So as you have been traveling through this vast expanse of forest, nowhere looks any different. All the trees look the same, the terrain looks the same, and even the paths look the same. They're the same width, they wind into the distance, and the signposts themselves say north, east, west, and from whence you came, south.
Well, here's the crossroads. Do we see any signs of battle around here?
There's no obvious signs, but you can use your round to start investigating. In fact, you can use 2 rounds if you want to do thorough to get a bonus dice. Yep. You look behind you, and Ari, Johnny.
Yep. Ari, Johnny, reveal yourselves.
Okay, they move. Ari beckons to Johnny to say, it's okay, it's okay. As he sort of trails, very cautious. He's got his spear out, and Ari has a weapon too. Yes or no? She just carries a dagger, I think.
She carries a stiletto. It's in her belt.
Okay, her stiletto's got that poison, so she holds just a throwing blade in the other hand, just in case. As she comes to you and she says, "It looks clear. Which path shall we take?"
First, let's see. This is where ambushes were occurring. See if we can find tracks or some sort of evidence to use.
She nods that. So she says, "I'll take my time as there's no threat." And she starts checking along around the post. While she's doing that,
time for a cuppa, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny Briggs, Johnny Briggs. He says, "Are you sure? Isn't this the area where the ambushes occurred?" Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to question your decision making. And he gets out his pot. And does he have cold tea or hot tea? Does he have to light his?
Oh no, he definitely hot tea. Yeah.
Oh, okay, no worries. He goes. He finds an area, a clear area, and he gets out his tea making kit. Does he have a tinderbox? You probably have given him.
He does have a tinderbox. Thank you.
Oh, you've basically got him ready for tea making. Okay, he strikes it up to get it ready as Ari is searching. And with that round, did you want to do anything while she's searching?
Oh, well, I'll try and search as well, even though I'm limited. But yeah.
Okay, no worries. You get 1 dice. We'll do you first.
So not two to take time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you both take time. That means she'll finish first. So you roll for Ari first. 2 dice.
Okay, 2 dice.
Oh, Jesus, she's on fire. I think she's at maximum now.
Well, your maximum, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's on maximum.
So she's got 2. Can I roll as well?
Yes, you can.
Chance for a hero point?
Yep, always a chance. But remember, you only get a hero point if there's something to find.
Yeah, I only got 1 success.
You have a search. You don't see anything untoward. She says, "I do see tracks." And she points over to the west at not scuffles that she could make. Did she get 2 successes? Yeah, she did.
Got 2.
Not scuffles, but a lot of small tracks and large tracks. So most of the movement is going back and forward west. There's also some tracks. I mean, there's tracks. She finds tracks in all directions because it's a nice day and there hasn't been any rain, etc. But the bulk of it is to the west. So we'll say a mix of large and small footprints west. From going north to south, probably travelers, like traveling down and then continuing on south. And to the west, very minimal. She sees like a bit of a broken route and disturbed foliage, but hardly any movement that goes east. As you're both looking, the blackbird squawks, and to your amazement, or perhaps not, a voice echoes from the top of the signpost. Information is it that you seek? And you see straight away Johnny Bricks sort of nearly knocks the tea over, like, what? He grabs his spear. What devilry is this?
Would also be just as nervous, being paranoid as she is.
Yeah, true. She says, devilry, and she sort of scampers behind Johnny Bricks, who has the spear, and they both look to you, both very alarmed and shaken in their own ways. Johnny from surprise. I see you looking for tracks. If it's information you seek, a coin will buy an answer to a question. Much I have seen. Don't do it. Don't do it, says Ari. It's a trap.
Ari, sometimes you have to trust people. Trust me, do you not?
But it's a talking bird.
You've seen worse than this.
She recalls some of her adventures under a tunnel with a creature that... Actually, she nearly died in the tomb, didn't she? So she probably recalls the spiders.
Check the scars, yeah.
Yes, it's black like one of those spiders. It can't be good.
It's very judgmental.
Yeah, I'll let that go to the keeper. Okay, so what do you wish to do?
Okay, I will hand over a silver piece and see what happens.
Titus! How are you going to hand it over?
Is there a bowl or can I put it?
There's no bowl. You're quite tall. You probably could reach it if you want to make an attempt to give it to it.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up and see if
straight away the bird flutters and goes higher in the air. Toss it over there, big one. I'm not going to fall for that old trick.
Okay. Where am I tossing it? Sorry.
It's just over there.
Okay. Yep. Flick the silver piece over there.
No worries. You flick it in near distance, and as soon as you do, the bird sort of follows the trajectory, doesn't even land on the ground, grabs it, and then starts flying up high into the Far tops of the tree. Johnny says, should I ping it? Should I ping it?
Calm. Just, how's my tea going, Johnny?
Tea? How calm are you? Like he's impressed, but also a bit, shaken that you like haven't even armed yourself or anything. Just grabbed the coin out and piffed it like,
I've still got my hammer in my hand.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I've got that. That's right. The bird disappears in the top of the treetops, and Ari says, I told you it was a trap. You've been scammed. You're not going to get that information, and you're not going to get the coin back.
Relax, Ari, relax.
All right, roll a d6. Roll a d6. You low as possible. As the bird disappears into the trees. It flies back. And it says, what information do you want for 1 silver? My tongue is not very loose. Bark! See a little tongue.
Which way did the goblinoids that were last here go?
Which way did the goblinoids that were last here go? Ah! You're after the bandits!
Ah, you know of the bandits.
I've seen their work.
There is more in it. You have to give me proof that you might know something.
I would say head west. As your friend has seen, many footprints lead west. But beware, there are many of them.
How many of them are there?
Oh, you'd like to know another answer, would you?
Okay, we're going to play
perhaps a gold, perhaps a gold coin.
It's going to be like this, and over another silver piece.
Perhaps a gold coin. I could give you some more information than a number.
Sure. If we're going to play this game, sure. One gold coin.
Don't do it, Jimmy. It's up in the stakes to suck you in.
Trust us.
Johnny says, I think Johnny starts being a bit calmer. And says, let us make tea.
Something extra in the tea for Ari, Johnny.
Opens a swig. It's been in there. All right, you toss the same method, I assume, and the raven goes down, takes the coin before it lands. Very nimble it is, very quick, and disappears into the tree. Ari protests, but before she can say, let us move from here, it could be a signal to call some enemy. It flies back down and seems a lot more satisfied. You don't need to make a dice roll.
Ari. It will give us the information we need.
Ari's on full alert. So if something does happen, yeah, she's got a bonus for detecting. Johnny's saying, just relax. Johnny's trying to follow in your sort of example and saying, look, let us just calm the situation, Ari. Here, have some hot tea. And she's sort of just her wide-eyed. Yes, many I saw.
Just go easy on the sugar, Ari. Yeah.
I can tell you, goblins, they are not. Goblinoid, yes, but I believe they are referred to as gremlins of the forest.
Gremlins?
A hidden people that rarely come up from below the depths from where they dwell. Something has stirred them, warrior.
What do you know of? Sorry, this is asking the rest of the party. Do we know anything of gremlins?
You see, they both look at each other. I've not heard of such things.
No. What can you tell us of gremlins? These gremlins, why have they come above ground?
Well, I've given you information. Oh, the other thing I would tell you, because
you one-word answer.
You asked for a number. At least a dozen there were, which is 12. In case you did not know.
You know that number. So if you can count to 12, can you count any higher?
I can count that it's more than 1 gold coin and 1 silver coin for more information.
Flick another bloody gold coin. You
are very...
taking advantage of an innocent orc here.
What is your name? You have been more generous than any other travellers that have passed through.
Well, that will cost you a gold coin to get my name.
It laughs and nearly drops the coin. And whoops! Grabs the coin, puts it up into the tree.
My name is Jirak.
Flies back down. They call me Scoot.
Scoot, the crow. Are you a crow?
I am a raven. I am a raven. Are you an ogre?
I am an orc.
Well, I am a raven, not a crow. Orc.
Right.
And what of your friends? And you see...
Friends, this is Johnny the goblin and Ari the halfling.
Oh, I have seen many communities pass through. Halflings, yes, but never goblins through the forest.
Really?
Greetings.
Goblins are everywhere.
Bark.
Oh, this number.
Another coin?
Yeah, I gave you another coin.
Oh.
That's 2 coins. You've got 3 coins in total.
Yes. What was
still have yet to tell me the answer that I asked initially.
What was the question?
How many are there?
I said a dozen.
Oh, you said more than a dozen was your words.
Well, they came in and out of the forest very quickly, but I figured there'd be a dozen or so.
Okay. You mentioned of goblins coming. Something has stirred them. Do you know what?
That would cost another coin. You have not paid me for more information.
Tell you what, Scoot.
Normally, I only have travellers passing here, never the likes of you fine folk.
I expect a lot more for this gold coin, what you have offered.
You throw a gold coin, it goes up into the trees and says, "My friend Jimmy, I do not know why they are attacking, but I do know that all of them were speaking about a red weed. Indeed, after a red weed, after they assaulted and stole weapons and items from the travelers, they all did partake in this strange substance which they carried in small pouches. Devoured it, they did."
Oh, ate it. Not smoked it, ate it.
Yes. And also putting in their nose. I do not know why, but their faces were full of it. It was like it made them crazy.
Interesting.
Perhaps this is their way.
Herbalism?
Pathfinder will give you a shot.
No, definitely no one's got that.
Johnny Brick says underground. Well, you can make a roll for Johnny Bricks. Make a roll. You can roll 2 dice. See if one of them is a 1.
Yeah, one of them has to be a 1. That's right. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, Johnny.
He says, although I have not seen it, I do recall. Sips a bit of his tea. Passes another cup to Ari. He grabs it. It's still sort of cautious. I do remember stories that there are red plants, like a fungus that does grow. A red mushroom that does grow in some parts, but it's very rare.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, doing what?
I do not know.
You only know that it's underground.
Yes, that is underground. But I've heard in my barbarian ways not to.
Speaking of cups of tea.
Oh, good role playing. Get experience. It is not something that I have experience of, other than the barbarians tend to stay away from colourful mushrooms.
I understand. Yes.
Ari, does Ari have any skills?
No, nothing like Pathfinder or anything like that.
No.
This would be a good time to go back and talk to Warden of the Forest. They may have know of this sort of stuff, but unfortunately, that's not the way we're going.
Harry says, "How are we going to deal with this? That is a large number. 12? There's only 3 of us."
It's okay. You're a tinker, are you not?
Yes.
You could possibly set some traps.
Well, yes, I will try and do what I can.
Things called Ewoks.
Ewoks, I've never heard of them.
Oh, never?
And Johnny says, "You have not heard of Ewoks? You have not seen the great movie? The great stories in the city?"
The great story.
In the theatre.
Yeah.
The marionettes. The marionettes. The Great Wars of the Stars. Anyway, yeah, copyright Disney. That's 1 strike. Scoot says, "Surely you'd require some more information. What about you, young halfling, and you, goblin tea maker? Would you like to ask the questions for a coin?" "You'll get nothing from me," says Ari. And she sort of scampers away. And Johnny says, "I am just a humble servant of the great orc warrior, Jirak the Mace."
Close.
Is it? No.
Just pat him on the head. Good job, Johnny.
I'm trying.
Flip him a silver piece for his efforts.
Okay, okay. Add a silver piece to him. As you're having this interaction, suddenly Scoot squawks like really loud and sort of bursts into the air, like a few of her sort of feathers sort of come loose at the sort of franticness, and you need to make a detect roll. Now Ari gets 2 dice because she was super paranoid about everything going on. You guys get 1 dice. So let's do you first.
That's mine, is it not?
Yeah, let's do you first.
Okay.
You toss a coin. You're too busy doing that and watching. You sort of get distracted by it.
Just ask Scoot, what do you do with all this money?
You do, but frantically just trying to flee the area.
All right. Ari.
Oh, it does say one thing as it bursts into the air with feathers of flight. It says run. That's what it says as it comes up. Let's see how Johnny goes. 1 dice for Johnny.
He's 1 dice for him.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Oh, no. And now the great Ari, defender of the realm. 1 success. Do you want to use a hero point to reroll? You're going to take 1 success.
I'll take that. Oh, actually, hold on. She's got 6 points. Yeah, no, I'll reroll.
Okay.
Oh, no God, successes. I'll reroll again.
Okay. Looking for the 3s. Oh my!
You're kidding me.
God, that's 2 hero points you've used it. Or 3.
Yeah. It's 2 so far. No, we have to do it.
Back to 1 success.
Back to 1 success. That's cost me. That's costly.
Do you want to take that?
Yeah, I have to. No,
okay.
I'll use 3 hero points.
Okay. Unfortunately, well, she's not surprised, but unfortunately she doesn't see what's coming to alert you guys so that you can possibly do something else. But she manages to call out. She goes, "We got company!" And she calls out to the direction west, and you see that just coming around the corner, moving at a fairly brisk speed, is this creature. I'll do the picture and then I'll describe what's going on. Suffice to say that this creature is larger than Jimmy.
Oh, so okay.
Let's just start. Inspiring. Yeah. So I'll paste it in there. And then I will explain what's going on. So as Scoot cries run when you are asking what do you do with the money, and Johnny just takes a sip, spits out the tea straight away.
Did we not see that coming down the bloody path?
It just came around the corner, perhaps out of the bush, not too sure. But you notice a tall, muscular humanoid, savage in its appearance, coming from the west, holding a menacing spiked club in one hand, and in the other a small cage. And the cage isn't empty. Even though that photo shows it's empty, there is another small creature in the cage. But at this point, because you haven't had the benefit of that extra round of awareness, it goes to turn order to see who gets the next move.
So it's going to combat?
Well, not necessarily combat, but turn order. Now, the only 2 people that roll at the moment is Ari and the encounter. So you roll for the encounter first.
Right, so encounter first.
Yep.
22.
22.
Ari.
Yep.
High is better, yeah? Oh, that's very good.
High is better.
Yep. Ari's definitely first.
29. All right. Okay. So she gives out the warning, but she can. You all see it. You just can't act in terms of. You can speak though. So what do you want to command, if anything, as Ari sees
we
the
still
creature?
Don't know. There's something in the cage. We just don't know what it is.
Yes, it's a. You definitely know it's a small greenish type humanoid figure.
So it could. Well, you're only in a cage for. Yeah.
Okay, you hear because she says, "We got company," and simultaneously this creature says, "Wells, what do we have here?"
Right, combat. Let's go.
And simultaneously, you hear a shriek from in the cage. It says, "Help!"
Right, no, that's it. We'll go to combat, and we might just call it here then, if that's all right.
All right, no problem. So just know that Ari will get the first move, if anything.
Yep.
Then the encounter, and then you guys will roll for the next round. You'll be able to enter with whatever you want to do. All right, and so that concludes this tiny session. With the next session, we'll get straight into the biffo, and I think
you'd have said, "Good morrow, good sir. Welcome to the crossroads." We might not be in this situation, but yeah. Don't want to sound judgmental, but that gravelly voice says, "Nah, sorry, you're here for no good. Let's go."
That's very judgmental, but well played by the orc. Doesn't like things bigger than him, and also doesn't like things uglier.
Definitely no. There's going to be Fist of Fury next round.
Yeah, this is a large creature, so it's got some power behind it. That is for sure. All right, until next time, this is GMH signing out. TAZZ, any last words?
Keep it real, homies. Wanted to shoot each other.
Okay, Dark, and also...
it's for my American brothers out there.
Oh, okay, yes. Yep. Word to the wise. We will see you next time, folks. Catch you later.
Yes.